first few days especially, it's how big the school is. And right now, though, I can assure you, when I go back to Steiner Ranch, it seems bigger than Canyon Ridge. It took me about a week before I could get rid of my little schedule, seeing where I need to go. But I just want to assure everyone that you're definitely going to get the hang of everything, because it's really scary at first, and then you figure it out.
In 6th grade, you feel small compared to everybody else. You have no idea what's going on. You're not as accustomed to what's going on. You probably look pretty small to everybody else.
I was nervous about the new kids coming and stuff, because I knew in elementary school you have, like, your friends, and you're with those kids for, like, 5 years, and you know those people really well. And now you're in this big school, you're with new kids, they're all older than you. You were the top dog at elementary school, and now you're, like, the little one. So I was kind of nervous about that, and I was scared all my other friends were going to be in different stuff, because when you're in middle school, you get to, like, choose what you want to be in. So we had to, like, decide, what electives are we going to do? Are you going to be in band? No, I'm in choir, that kind of thing. So I was, like, nervous you're going to get separated. Some friends that I kind of lost because of that, because they were in completely different stuff, so it's just kind of hard to relate to. But then some friends I stayed with, and then you met a whole, like, bunch of new friends because of all the groups you're in, and then they have friends, and their friends have friends, and you just get, like, a ton new friends, so it works out good.
Oh, definitely lockers. I, feared lockers. I did not know if I was going to be able to open them, and getting between class was going to be hard, and, just trying to do that kind of stuff.
And about how long did it take you into your 6th grade year to no longer fear lockers?
2 days.
But I was afraid that my teachers would be really mean, and that they'd give me lots of homework, and I would have no free time to do anything fun, which is pretty much the opposite. So if you end up with a teacher that does give you a lot of homework, just think that it's for your own good, that she's giving you that much, he or she is giving you that much homework, because in the long run it does prepare you for college and high school and all of that stuff. I don't know, I was used to not studying and getting hundreds in 6th grade, and then in 7th grade, I was, looking at the test, and I was like, what is this? I don't even remember this. I have a good memory, so, whenever we'd go over notes, I'd remember them and stuff. But I never found the need to go back and look over or study. But, it's so important to do that.
It's a little bit harder to do tests and, the ways you have to start studying now. That's a really big one, because I know in elementary school you could go right through without ever studying. And I know there are kids that do that, and you could still get A's and hundreds, but now in middle school you have to actually start really studying, get down study habits, which are some things people haven't learned. Well, normally I decide when I'm going to study based on what I have to do, and if I have a whole bunch of homework one day and the test isn't for a week, I might wait to study till when I don't have as much homework. But I do definitely study way before the night before. What I would do is I would look through everything I need to know, and maybe make almost like flashcards where you have questions, and see all the questions you can answer, and the ones you can't, I just focus on those instead of studying everything through and just going through everything like a lot of kids will think they're going to have to. What you want to do is just narrow it down to the things you don't have all the way down, and then just go through those a bunch of times until you have them memorized.
Algebra was hard for me. Okay, so I'm not the brightest at math, but I got into algebra, and so that was kind of my struggle thing. But I've never really had to work at stuff academically this hard, so I actually have to study and stuff, which I'm not used to. But that was one of the kind of things I had to overcome and learn study habits and what to do and what not to do and who I should sit by, friends I could call, and tutorials are really helpful too. I started getting extra time and helping, actually working really hard at it. So it turned out good.
Schoolwork. I mean, sometimes you feel like you get overwhelmed because you have so many different classes. They have so much work to do, the next day or something. So juggling schoolwork is kind of hard. Sometimes it just depends. You just have that kind of senses that you're not sure whether you're gonna be able to get it done today, whether it's gonna be able for you to be able to have good work by tomorrow. So agenda usually. This year I kind of dropped the agenda because I've been able to keep it more in my head more often, and it's the due dates are a little bit more spread out since it's more projects a little bit more. But besides that, you just gotta get it done. You gotta get it done when you get it, and don't put it off to the last minute.
Okay.
You're still friends with the people that you know in elementary school, but you're gonna start to get more specific now. Because in 5th grade, most people don't really know what they want to be when they grow up, or know what type of person they are at that point. And yes, some will, and some might stay with the same friends. But as you get older, you're going to start to realize who you really should spend your time with and what would benefit you and what might not. And just who you really enjoy being with is just going to change a little bit, because maybe instead of wanting to be in a massive group all the time, you might just be fine hanging out with one or two people.
My friends that I had in 5th grade, but sometimes with the schedules being mixed up and everything, and you may be on a different team, sometimes you kind of lose that connection you had with other people that you were friends with before, when you only had, like 1 or 2 classes back then. So.
Is that okay? Is that something that's like devastating when that happens, or do you go, well, we just get over it?
It's not devastating per se, but when you have really close friends, you really want to be able to interact with them as much as you can, no matter what happens. And it's those relationships that you have to be able to keep sustained. You just want to keep them alive, best friends, that kind of thing.
So you still find a way to maintain those friendships even if you're not in the same classes?
Definitely.
And I think the best way to, meet people and get to know them is not to be shy, because if you think that they're gonna think you're ridiculous from the second you meet them, then you're never gonna meet anybody new. You have to go around and you have to talk and you have to find people with similar interests. Like, I found people that were that dance, and and now they're my best friends.
I would have wanted to study a lot more in 6th grade, because that's the year that I myself don't do very many study things. So you come right out of 6th grade, you're not used to studying, and then you go right in, and then all of a sudden you have to study a whole bunch. It's confusing at first, and what I would have wanted to do is go back and use my systems I have now, because I wasn't used to anything then. And I mean, if you go back and look at my grades as they change through the year, it could be on the same stuff, and it just gets progressively better because you figure out that you have to start studying and get systems down. And I would have liked to have skipped that period of time, just went right into me knowing how to study. If I could change anything, that would be it.
I wouldn't care so much about what other people think about me. The trends or the latest, what you wear, what don't you dare, oh my god, your hair is like that. I have curly hair, obviously, and when I first came, I got made fun of that in 5th grade, look at that poodle, that kind of thing. So I would, straighten my hair a lot, because I had carrot locks. Everybody else had straight hair, so I was like, So, but I kind of, overcame that, and now, I don't really care anymore, and I've kind of overcome that and stuff, and I don't care as much about, how other people look at me. It's just about how, I look at me instead, and it made me feel more confident, I guess, and that's kind of what I regret about being scared in 6th grade of.
Sometimes, there's this one period in 6th grade, especially after the spelling bee, where I felt horrible about myself. I don't know, I felt like it was, life, I was, so depressed, because I was I have no friends. But then, later, the next week, I was I have 50 best friends. What am I thinking about,
Yeah.
So for that moment, yeah, you might feel a little sad that you screwed up in front of a bunch of people like I did, or something like that. But it's really it's not, it gets better.
Well, being in middle school, you never know what kind of stuff ends up flying around with gossip and that kind of stuff. So you hear a lot of stuff flying around that you're not sure whether it's true or not. So you really just have to, the moment you find out, you have to go tell a teacher, you need to go tell a counselor if you think it's completely outrageous. And otherwise, if you just ignore it, it may just get worse just because you didn't stop it. Everybody's going to think, the next person will take care of it. Sometimes that's not true. So if you hear something that could hurt someone potentially, you need to go tell your counselor or tell a teacher or someone that you trust.
Okay.
Oh, when I step into the light, my arms are open wide.